Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Power Up Challenge solution. My name is Tolulope Olowookere, and I am here to present the packing solution for the Power Up Challenge. So here I have 7 items in my solution. I have three tables: the packing inspection table, packing request table, and vehicle table. I also have two apps, so that's the packing request canvas app and the parking inspection canvas app and the parking review model driven app. Also have a cloud flow as requested to send emails, automatically send emails to staff that have requested parking. So I'm just gonna walk us through all that I have been able to build using Power Platform and all that I have learned in the process. I'm truly grateful to be part of this like I say learning cohort, and I've learned a lot during this period. So I'll start with the tables. This is the first table, this is the vehicles table. I created some forms as well as um I created some forms. I also created some views just as we're asked to. So I'll just give a brief introduction to what we are even trying to solve or what problem we're trying to solve here. So the challenge is that Contoso High School has been having issues with their parking and they needed a system, a solution that will be built to manage parking and also help with easy access to parking as well. So the assumption of this school is that they only have 15 parking spaces, and um, parking can only be requested before 5 p.m. and the inspection takes place by 5 p.m. every day. So I also have my second table, this which is the parking request table, which has the parking request name, parking request date time, and the vehicle info, which is a lookup column to the vehicle table column. Um, for the parking inspection table, I have parking inspection name, inspection date time, parking request information, which is also a lookup to the parking request table and parking request time as well. Then we have, and we also have vehicle info. That doesn't show here, anyways. We also have, now let's go on to the model driven app. This is how the model driven app looks like. We have the vehicle table, the parking request table, and also the parking inspection table with data in them already. So if, for example, you need to create a new vehicle, you just click on new and then you fill in all the information that you need to fill in. And then for already existing vehicles, we have the names of those vehicles, as well as their corresponding parking requests and the parking inspections that have been carried out. Yeah. So moving on, for for the parking request table, you can also choose to start out a new parking request, and you can also see that we have two views here. That's active parking request and parking request today. So this shows us the parking request that has been done today. I did this earlier this morning, and also for the inspection table as well. We also have another view for all the total inspections that have been done today, as at the time this recording was made. So the next thing we're moving on to would be our Canvas app. In the Canvas app, the intention is that the Canvas app will be used by the inspectors, and then the model driven app would be used by the staff members to request for parking. So the inspectors are those working in the parking area, checking in how many cars have been parked and which ones are not, or they are unauthorized to have been parked there. So this is how the Canvas app looks like. We have the review. is the home screen, which greets you, it tells you good morning once you open it up. It depends on the time of the day. Then we also have, once you click on review, you have the inspection that has been carried out at a certain time, for that day rather. Then you can go back to the home screen. Then for the new inspection, you have the inspection table, I mean the new inspection form. So for example, you want to inspect the cars, the inspector needs to inspect the cars that he can find in the um garage, or sorry, in the parking area. So for example, I choose this car 123, so I can see that this person has requested for a parking space at this time. So it's fine. So I can submit that inspection. So it shows that, oh, he's parked rightly. And what you see is that to be added to the review table. However, it shows that this is an invalid parking, because the criteria I used here was that if the person does not include his email in the parking request, in registering his vehicle, that parking will be regarded as invalid. So this one needs to be double checked by the inspector. So um, in case in case the vehicle's license plate cannot be found in this list, we would have to create a new one. So to create a new vehicle, you just have to click on that button. It takes you to this form, and then you fill in the form. To once you fill in the form, you can then submit, and then that's it. So I'll just go back home now. So moving on, I'm gonna show us how the flow looks like. So the cloud flow was created using Power Automate, and it resides in this parking challenge solution, and it has a few steps that needs to be followed here. So first of all, when the flow is added to the parking request table, that's the trigger. So the trigger is when the flow is added to the parking request table. What happens next is that we take the ID from the vehicle table. Then I had to create three variables to serve as placeholders for parking request name, parking request date, and parking request vehicle name. Then the condition or the assumptions that we had when we started this challenge was that we only have 15 spaces, and inspection takes parking request must be sent out before 5 p.m. So if those criteria is met, the parking request will be confirmed, and if not, the parking request would not be. So before this session, I tried it out. So I'm going to show us how the email will come. So it just says, "Hello, please be advised that your parking for vehicle this has been granted, and this is a request ID." I just added thanks for sending your request before 5 p.m. and the consortium's signature. So that's how the flow works. And if it is sent after 5 p.m., they get an email to decline their request. Then for Power BI, on the other hand, we're asked to create a report with 3 pages: the home screen, the filter screen, as well as the um, home screen, the filter screen, as well as the parking review screen, to monitor the number of parkings that have been made. So this is the Power BI report. Starting off in the home screen, we have Contoso school parking. It's the filter button, and this is the parking review button that takes us to navigate to these pages for us. So in the filters page, we have multiple filters that we can use to filter the parking review um the parking review report page. So from here we can see that we have 1,273 inspections, and which makes up 88.7% of the valid parking. We had to create measures to calculate valid parking, and measures to also count number of inspections carried out and even number of requests carried out. So looking at this table here, we have the vehicle names against the total inspections, total requests, and percentage of the inspections with valid request. Then we also have this other table with the inspection date time, URL request that takes us, if you need more information about the request, it takes you to the model driven app and gives you more information about um, parking. Then we have the inspection date time and vehicle name to also track parkings. Then we have a trend to show the number of inspections that have been carried out and whether they were requested or not. So if I go back, I can apply filters. So let's just see how the filters work. So maybe I choose this for maybe Monday, Tuesday. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for 2024, and then I apply this here. So you see that it's showing that vehicle for that make and model, and number of inspections that has been carried out, and number of valid parking it has. And on this day, the parking was not requested, but it's parked. So it gives us more information and more insights to how they have been. This vehicle has parked over a period. So in order to extend this solution, there are two things that I would recommend. One of which would be using Power BI to track available and booked parking slots. So within the parking area, we can have another table to list the number of cars or requests that we've had for the day, and in comparison to number of slots that we have, and see whether we can accept more parkings or not. And another thing is also like an automation checker using our apps this time around. We can have a like a using like a camera to take pictures of the license plates to check against the number of requests that have been made by the end of that day, to check if they were authorized or not authorized to park. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed my short presentation.